I'm here with Duncan Clark from BDA China, Beijing, just had come down here from Beijing, to talk about innovation in China. We really have China is dominated by three internet giants, Baidu, Tencent,
and Taobao.
With an internet dominated like that, what impact does that have on innovation?
Well, what are the incentives for innovation? If big companies are going to imitate, and some accuse some of these big three of doing that, then what's the point? But
imitation is a very common form of launching
right.
a business in China.
I mean, again, we have to define innovation, and I think radical innovation actually is not really necessary right now in China because there's so much growth, there's so much opportunity. As I think Jack Ma talked about it as innovation on innovation, which is tweaking forms of existing innovation. Right. So, but the big question is you have these big three companies in China, and then you have lots of small companies, and we're all looking to see who's going to emerge into the middle. Is there a middle ground? Because some accuse the bigger guys of being very predatory for the small guys and just rolling out the same products and can crush them with their market power.
Is there an example of a small guy becoming big, or apart from the ones that are already big?
Not recently. I mean, obviously we've got the video sharing sites like Youku and others who've gone public, and Renren. But if you're looking at market capitalization, obviously there's a huge
still
gap.
Tiny.
Even Sina Weibo, which is
the talk of the internet in China, the Twitter
of China. Very disruptive in many ways, but in terms of creating value, hasn't really emerged to power Sina to that top tier. So we're all kind of seeing, is there going to be a shift in technology? Maybe it's mobile. There's something that's going to break this existing.
But there's no Silicon Valley style, make it in a garage and build something global.
Going global, not necessary yet because China has that scale.
But by global, I mean just of national scale then.
Well, garages aren't that common in China, so that's probably, there's no space. It's too expensive. You seen the price of a garage in Beijing now? So we are seeing actually some Chinese companies looking to Silicon Valley actually to hire contractors or build up their own R&D teams in Silicon Valley rather than
outsourcing to the developing nations.
And I think we need to get off this them and us scenario. Is there going to be, who's the Facebook of China sort of? In the future, the big question is, are we going to see companies emerging on both sides of the Pacific at the same time? These are micronationals or teams that are comprised Chinese and Western executives who know each other from school or whatever, and decide to do both markets at the same time. That would be a breakthrough.
Which has not yet happened.
It hasn't happened, but it would be very healthy instead of this them and us.
And in terms of going global, that's very rarely happened among Chinese internet companies. What are the best examples of that?
Well, Chinese companies going global, we haven't really seen in terms of the internet. I mean, we see a few attempts here and there regionally. Games and from China have sort of spread into Southeast Asia, for example, but nothing really impactful yet. But that's, I would expect it to come from a new company rather than the existing players. Okay.